And all, welcome to my channel. Today's topic is Tabulation Policy for Class 12 Board Examination 2021, and it is based on the background that schools have been deeply impacted because of the COVID and cancellation of Class 12 Board Examination, and Board has issued a circular on 17th June 2021. So it is a challenge about the declaration of a tabulation policy, and it should be a valid, reliable, fair and unbiased result should be produced, and it should be transparent and credible and reliable information of the student according to the student's performance. That is a very important task. And what should be the mode of assessment? Assessment of the theory examinations we can take, because the practical and the internal examinations already completed that task. So assessment of the theory examinations, schools have conducted different types and number of tests or exams for class 12. That is, different schools had conducted different types of school-based assessments. That is 2020-21 session and online, and some may be offline. So either all or some of the unit tests or midterm exams or pre-board examinations have been conducted by the schools, and most of these have been in the online mode. So for some of them, academic transactions were adversely affected. That is, majority of the examinations were undertaken on the online mode, but some of them academic transactions were adversely affected due to non-availability of devices and connectivity. There may not be internet connection, they may not be having proper devices to learn the lessons and including assessments. So we have to focus on element 1. Here in the element 1, class 12, we have to focus on what are the mode of examinations, what are the different types of examinations. There is a unit test, midterm examinations, pre-board examinations based on the school assessment. But relying upon only this unit test, midterm examination based on the school assessment, that is solely relying on this course, it is not prudent. So two reasons are put forward. That is, online examinations held this year may not truly reflect the performance of the students, as these were not in similar settings for all and because of the differential access to digital infrastructure. And another reason is that these examinations not being the board exams conducted by the CBSE, it will not meet the goal of the standardized assessment. That is, it is not based on the board examination standards of assessments, and it may also reflect subjectivity inherent in the school-based assessment. So the latter, though, will be addressed by the moderation to be applied to the school-based assessment. So moderation can be applied to the school-based assessment. Address these two concerns, the class 12 school-based assessments need to be supplemented by, because the internal examinations or the assessments, midterm examinations, unit tests, pre-board examinations are not sufficient. Therefore, some other concerns we have to do. Class 12 school-based assessments need to be supplemented by standardized exams conducted in pre-COVID time. So to obtain a holistic, fair, precise and unbiased assessment of the students, additional information of the performance by the same student will help in obtaining more accurate result. So see that pre-COVID, we used to say the pre-First World War or post-First World War, like that. Here it is an important concept, the pre-COVID time. We have to focus on class 10. The reason is that it is the last year-end examination based on the pre-COVID time. So the class 10 examination can be taken into account when conditions were normal. This was the only public examination conducted by the board for actual year-end assessment. The exams were conducted in a regular standardized manner without any deviations from the scheme announced by the board at the start of the academic session. This is about 2019-20. That is that year when the COVID was started. starting, isn't it? That is 2019 end by November it has started, but it reached India in the 2020, and here we can see in the 2020 class 10 board examinations completed, but class 12 examinations could not complete. So this is the year-end examination normally done, assessment done and the regular standardized manner. So that is why the class 10 examination marks have been taken, has to be taken. Then the students may not have been equally interested in all subjects in class 10. Yes, of course, class 10, some of them may be interested in science subjects, some of them may be interested in languages, some of them may be interested in humanities, like that. So they did not know that. So here, what about some issues regarding class 10 examinations? The students may not have been equally interested in all subjects in class 10, and they did not know that the class 10 board exam marks will count for the class 12 results. So, because few subjects there might have some underperformance, or they might have underperformed. So, overcome this difficulty. In theory exams, average of the best 3 subjects, that is in class 10, which subjects, average of the best 3 subjects, it may be English or it may be social science or science or maths, like that. Any of the 3 best subjects marks can be taken into account for calculating the marks. And 2 additional concerns also there why the class 10 marks have been taken. The students' ability may have evolved since when the class 10 board exams were held. Yes, really, they wrote the exam and they were able to transmit their full ability, and that is why one reason. Then another reason is that the best 3 subjects in class 10 board may not coincide with the subjects being the best 3 subjects in the class 10 board may not coincide with the subjects being taught and assessed in the class 12. So that is why these marks also have to be taken into account. Then coming to the third one, element 3, that is class 11. So we have seen class 12 exam, then class 10 the board examination, and class 11 exam. It is therefore advisable to include class 11 result also. In element 3, class 11 held only a year ago based on the prescribed board senior secondary syllabus. So why we are including this 11th examination result, that is last examination, that is held only a year ago based on the prescribed board senior secondary syllabus. The examinations were conducted in a regular manner. Yes, of course, these examinations had taken in a regular manner without any deviation from the scheme. The examinations were conducted in exam halls under proper supervision. So high reliability, yes, it should be reliable. That is very important. And high reliability assessment of students' performances. So that is why the 11th mark should be included. So we can see what are the issues concerned about this. Maybe the teachers might have reduced the mark, that is, they might have stringent marking system might be there. So in order to overcome this, we can use a moderation policy. Then another one, assessed in a credible manner, provides unbiased measure of the upcoming class 12 result. So assessed in a credible manner provides unbiased measure of the upcoming class 12 result. In some cases, the students might not have applied themselves full to the class 11 exams. This is addressed to some extent in the class 10. So here, see that when we are taking into account, suppose class 12 results only we are taking into account, the reliability might have questioned. That is why when they go out, these children go out from the school, that sometimes the people will say, oh, this is a class 2020-21 student or plus 2 students. So without making such a issue, the board want to make a reliable, transparent, fair manner. They want to public the result. That is why through these different various steps, the CBSE had introduced the tabulation policy. That is very important. And school-based assessment 12, and so of course in total we can see that school-based assessment class 12 and class 11 should be taken into account, and best 3 subjects board exam marks as an average should be taken into account. So assessment of practical internal exams schools have already completed, that is according to the circular of June 6, 2021. Really, this circular is based on 2019 is the base of this circular, and the circulars and how the internal examinations were taken into account, that is based on the 6th 2019, and at present how the practical examination should be taken in the COVID season, in this COVID period, that is according to the circular June 6, 2021, and the last date for the submission, that is I came to know about, that is 28th June 2021. And the procedure for assessment is procedure for assessment practical exam that we know different subjects, the practical and the internal examination is out of 20, out of 30, out of 40, out of 50, out of 70. And so practical examinations according to the circular I told you. Then what about the assessment of the theory portion, that is when it is internal 20 marks, 20 mark internal, suppose economics case 20 mark internal, so 80 marks comes as a theory part. Like that it goes, here it is 30, here it is 70, here it is 40, here it is 60. That is internal marks as well as the theory paper, and marks will be there. So what about the weightage? According to the class 12 examinations, marks based on the unit test, midterm, pre-board 40%, that is school-based assessment 40%. Then class 11 marks based on theory components of final. Here we are taking into account the final examination which has conducted under full restrictions. It has been conducted in the examination hall. So that is 30 marks, 30%, and class 10 marks based on average theory component of best 3% subjects out of main 5 subjects, that also come 30%. So this is the weightage. And marks of practical or internal class 12 will be on actual basis as uploaded by the school. Yes, the practical examination or the internal examination I told you, it is based on the basis uploaded, the actual basis. How the school has uploaded or uploading, because till 28th we are having the total marks awarded should be in the consonance with the past performance of the school in class 12 board examinations. So the total marks, it should be awarded on the basis of the past performance of the school in class 12 board examination. That is because it is the reference year class 12 board examination. It is talking about the best year. Then another point is that assessment and its components is computation of theory marks, and this is 7th point, and 8th point is about the assessment and components. I didn't included in this page, and that I will tell later on, and 7 and 8. Then coming to is why I am focusing on 9, something important I have to convey through this video itself. That is 9th point is the constitution of the result committee. In the constitution of the result committee, that is principal should be the chairperson, and 2 senior most teachers who are teaching in class 12, and 2 teachers from neighboring schools, they should be teaching in class 12. Limitations are there that you know already, or go through the annexure 1 rules about the committee. And special invitee, yes, that is another topic, another concept here. So special invitees, there another important member is there in the 10th class also there, but here it is specially mentioned. There is a special invitee is there. There is a special invitee there, a teacher with IT background for full-time assistance. And second point is that this is a point you have to focus on, that is subject teachers shall be present in committee. Subject teachers shall be present in committee for deliberations as and when performance of their subject and students is being discussed and recorded. Yes, subject teacher shall be present in committee for deliberations as and when performance of their subject. Suppose a teacher who is taking business studies, about that mark, that teacher should be present. If it is economics, that teacher should be present. And if it is physics, that teacher should be present. Like that, as the committee for deliberations as and when the performance of their subject and the students is being discussed and recorded. That is very important. And regarding the school committee, the rules are in the Annex 1. Then another important point I also want to mention here, that is to facilitate ease in the entering the theory marks of class 10. That is to facilitate ease in the entering the theory marks of class 10, the board will provide the marks. It is very helpful for the teachers. The board will provide the marks for the students who have appeared in CBSE class 10 examination. So those who have appeared in the class 10 CBSE board examination, their marks will be provided by the CBSE. And other boards, suppose some other boards students have entered into the class 12 at present, that the school has to enter the marks of the other board. Then I already told you 7 and 8 I have not mentioned. Then I went to 9. Yes. Then after 9 I am moving to the 10th one, assessment of moderation of class 11 and class 12 component. Class 11 and class 12 school-based assessment will have variations. Yes. That is, class 11 and class 12, there may be variations in the quality of the question paper, evaluation standards, and the process, how, when the examination has taken place, where it has been taken place, there may be some differences, of course. The class 11 and class 12 school-based examination, there may be variations. Therefore, to ensure standardization, each school will have to internally moderate the marks. So, each school will have to internally moderate the marks to account for the school level variations by using a reliable reference standard. So, in order to avoid these differences about the standardization, or in order to ensure standardization, each school will have to internally moderate the marks to account for the school level variations by using the reliable reference standard. So, what we have to do? We have to find out what is the total theory mark. Yes, what about the total theory mark? That is class 10 30% weightage, class 11 30% weightage, class 12 40% weightage. As per the weightage of each class, we are getting the marks and we are totaling it. So we are getting the total theory mark. So now by adding class 10, class 11 and class 12 marks, we are getting the total mark. Then we have to what we have to do thereafter based on the total marks. Total marks means we have to add internal mark or the practical marks and based on the total marks. Thereafter based on the total marks, the moderation shall carried out by the school in class 11 and class 12. Yes, they can make the moderation in class 11 and class 12, and scaling up or down of class 11 and class 12 marks may have to be done in a fair and transparent manner by the result committee. So, scaling up or down the class 11 and class 12 marks may have to be done in a fair and transparent manner by the result committee. So, as class 10 marks are already standardized, no scaling we needed. In class 10 there is no scaling we needed, only class 11 and class 12 we needed. So best overall performance in the previous 3 years board exam will be taken as a reference for moderating the marks assessed by the school 2020-21. Yes, like the 10 standard, here also we have to take into account a reference year. According to the overall average, here one example has been given. 2017-18 72%, 2018-19 74%, 2019-20 71%. The school will use 2018-19 for moderation because there is 74% which are the highest moderation. So for each subject they will have to follow a broad distribution. So each subject there is a broad distribution. As we know, below 26, in between 26 to 40, 40 to 50, like that. A broad distribution of marks which will be based on the performance of the specific year by that school in that subject. So in each subject, you know that a broad distribution of marks will be there, and this mark should align, that is the reference year mark should be aligned with the present subject's marks. And so another thing is that the subject wise marks assessed by the school for 2020-21 should be within a range of +5 or -5 marks obtained by the students in the school in the subject in the reference year. Yes, in the 10th standard it was +2 or -2. Here we can give the moderation +5 or -5 marks obtained by the students in the school in the subject in the reference year. Then the overall marks is, which is very important, the overall marks for the school assessed is in 2020-21 for all subjects should not exceed the overall average marks obtained by the school by 2 marks in the specific reference year. Yes, maximum 2 marks variation can be, but the overall marks for the school assessed for all subjects should not exceed the overall average marks obtained by the school by 2 marks in the specific reference year. Then data is, that is the reference year we are talking about. So of course we will have a doubt. Is suppose there is data only 2 years, take the best performance of that. Take 1 year, that year you have to take. First time the board will provide the historical data in the following manner. Yes, that much at present I am conveying you to through this video. This is the tabulation policy which is introduced by CBSE circular which is issued on 17th June. Thank you.